my name's Ariana, and my group is presenting on dinoflagellates and AP complexins. Samuel, Nicole, Kalia, and David are also part of the group. So as an overview for dinoflagellates, they are unicellular protists and aquatic one-celled organisms that have dissimilar flagella. They're also photosynthetic and are a food source for other organisms. They produce bioluminescence that allows them to glow, and they also reproduce rapidly, forming water blooms or red tides that discolor water and may poison other fish and animals. Another thing about them is that they produce toxins that are amongst one of the most poisonous.
So an interesting disease that dinoflagellates can cause is called paralytic shellfish poisoning, which is also known as PSP. And this was initially discovered to be caused by a species called Alexandrium catenella. And essentially what happens is that algal blooms occur in any species in the class Bivalvia, and they accumulate toxins that humans end up ingesting. And so what happens is that this affects the nervous system and paralyzes muscles, and other people might experience uh, tingling, paralysis, headaches, vomiting, numbness, and respiratory failure.
So some interesting facts about the dinoflagellates is that they're single-cell organisms that can be found in streams, rivers, freshwater ponds, and even oceans. And they make up 90% of all living things in the ocean. And they're referred to as algae, and they're officially recorded to be 2,000 known living species. And on the right-hand side, you can see a glowing shore because of the little plankton that swim around, and because of the crashing onto the shore, they give off this sort of glow, which makes it seem as if the ocean itself is lighting up every time the shore crashes onto the shore.
So aping complexins are parasites of mainly of animals that lack locomotion and contractile vacuoles. So these apicomplexins can actually live within body cavities or cells of almost every kind of animal, and they can feed themselves by absorbing dissolved food ingested by the host or by the host's cytoplasm and body fluids. These parasites can actually spread through the host as tiny infectious cells called sporozoites, and they are not photosynthetic, but they can retain plastids called apicoplast. And these apicomplexins have very complex life cycles, both with sexual and asexual stages, since both have sexual and asexual reproduction involved.
So one species of apicomplexin is known as Toxoplasma gondii, and so this species causes toxoplasmos disease. And as you can see on the figure on your left, this Toxoplasma gondii has a crescent-shaped cell, and one of the evolutionary advantages of this cell is that it provides a very high surface area to volume ratio, so there are very efficient metabolic exchanges. And most hosts of the Toxoplasma gondii are asymptomatic. And as you can see on the figure on your right, Toxoplasma gondii can only sexually reproduce in cats, which is why that their life cycle is dependent on cats. But they can be transferred through vectors such as pigs and sheep, and then they can asexually reproduce in humans.
So we're going to round off the presentation with another disease that apicomplexins can actually called, and that's called babesia. And essentially what it is it affects red blood cells and causes a disease called babesiosis. And what happens is it's transmitted through a tick bite to blood. And what happens is the tick begins to bite the host and affects the blood cell, and a parasite enters through the bloodstream and begins to affect the red blood cells, as you can see in the pictures here. And so what that causes is symptoms in both animals and humans, including high fevers, fatigue, chills, muscles or joint aches, shortness of breath, chest and hip pain, among other types of symptoms. And what happens is the parasite ends up reproducing inside the red blood cells, and this causes intense pain in the host when blood cells begin to rupture. So thank you so much for watching our presentation on apicomplexins and dinoflagellates.